Hello!
Hello!
So excited. Thank you so much for everyone being here. I don't know how I'm going to get through this without crying, but, oh, okay. So, to start, I need to do some thank yous. For you guys tonight for being here, as I look around, there are many of you who helped us get to this point of a campaign launch. Because of your efforts, I was able to file almost double the required signatures 9 days before the deadline to guarantee that my name will be on the ballot in November. Your help has already demonstrated that we are ready. We are ready for a seismic change that only a powerful blue wave can bring. I want to thank Representative Diane for her special introduction. Diane was the first person to approach me about running for State Assembly 6 months ago. She's been an inspiration to me and has been a strong partner through this process. Thank you for being a great mentor and for being here with me and my community. And thank you to all the presenters who came before Diane. Ariana, Amelia, Persephone, I'm so proud of each of you. You are each a part of the powerful, diverse, strong vision that I see for our country. And I just hope that I can help support that future by fighting for you now. We all need to thank everyone who made this kickoff party happen. The excellent chefs and bakers, the volunteers helping around the room, the volunteers who made phone calls last week for me, and of course the organizers, Kathy Berkbaum and Angie Kurse. Kathy and Angie usually work behind the scenes, but they are a powerful force in our community. They continue to amaze me every day with their dedication and the effort they put not just into our area, but for our whole state. I can't imagine a better support team for our Dodge County Democrats than Angie and Kathy. Speaking of support teams, I'm excited to share my cabinet team with you tonight. They have these blue lanyards on so you can easily identify them. One of the most important decisions that I made before deciding to run for office was selecting a great team. I was a human resources manager for 20 years and I know the importance of picking a good team. For the past 2 months, my team has been planning, strategizing, creating, all together. One of my priorities for my campaign is to help provide future leadership to our community from my cabinet team. Some of them may run for office themselves one day, and others will be able to continue to bring their campaign skills to the future. You see, my plan is not just for me to win, but for us to build a team that will continue to progress our agenda way past November 6th. So, November 6th, 144 days away. Who's counting? Every day since I filed my campaign, there are a few habits I've established. The first thing I do is to look at the countdown to Election Day. Sometimes, November 6th seems very far away. And other moments I feel I will never have enough time to do all the things I want to do before watching those returns on the night of November 6th. The other thing that I have done every day is remind myself why I am doing this. The nights that I may not have slept, the quick meals I eat, and the fear I occasionally feel when I wonder what all of this will mean to the future of our community. But what brings me back to knowing that this will be worth it is to remind myself of you, why I signed up. Although this is the first time I'm running for public office, I have always seen politics as a way of being able to help people when elected officials care. I knew since I was very young that politics impacted my personal life. I witnessed legislative laws making a difference in the everyday lives of children, minorities, women, and hardworking families. I never took for granted the roles elected officials were asked to perform. When politicians get elected, we refer to them as serving. Their service includes being our voices. And I have a great deal of respect for elected officials like Representative Diane, who serve their areas with integrity and try to make the right choices for the people. Unfortunately, it seems that many of our elected officials have forgotten what it means to serve, and their entanglements with private interests and corporations is taking priority. We keep learning about deals made by our administration that could have detrimental impacts on our state and our people. I am running for state assembly because we can't keep losing to special interests while our environment, our healthcare, our public schools, and our community resources are sold to the highest bidder. I remind myself every day that the reason I am doing this is because I want to do the right thing for our children, our hardworking families, our environment, and our state. I care about people, and not just the wealthiest and the most powerful. I think it is ironic that when Seth and I moved to Wisconsin 17 years ago, we actually made the decision to live here over other states because Wisconsin valued the preservation of its natural resources, took care of its great public schools, and the terms Act 10 and Foxconn did not exist. We live in a state today whose administration approved taking funds from public schools while investing in a failed voucher program. Our school districts lost millions of dollars when Act 10 was passed. Now we are seeing the consequence of Act 10 as we all learned about the Beaver Dam School Board decision on Monday night. Our teachers are supposed to lose their retirement benefits, which put our children at high risk of losing qualified teachers. If you're an educator here in this room today, please don't leave our great state. I hear you, and I know your fears. And I know some of you are already discussing relocation. I don't want to lose you. Allow us to make this right. Allow us to change our new assembly, our state senate, and our governor in 2019. Today who is choosing to spend billions of dollars on an overseas company that cares nothing about our people, our local workers, our Lake Michigan, or our values. Foxconn is making no promises to us on anything that matters. We have no commitment of how long employees will keep their jobs, if they will be full-time employees, or even if they will have benefits. At the same time, Foxconn will be funneling 7 million gallons of water from Lake Michigan every day and returning 5.5 million with no promise of the quality of water being returned or what happens if the water gets poisoned. Why would we want to recruit for a business that makes no promises of what they're giving back to our communities, and yet we risk losing teachers every year because of their fear of not being able to take care of themselves and their families? Our teachers make a promise every day as they walk into school buildings. Every night as they grade papers, they make the promise that they are there to support, educate, and stand for our children. Our current majority legislatures have failed them, our children, and are the ones who stand to suffer. We don't need to give billions to an international company when what we need to do is fix the funding formula of our public education. It just doesn't make sense that a large corporation like Foxconn would be given billions in tax breaks when we keep cutting our public funding per student. Besides public education, how can Wisconsin justify a corporation receiving that kind of break when we also have the second worst roads in our country? Most of you here today, I know you care, and you care about what's happening in our area. I believe Assembly District 39 is a unique and special community. I have loved working and serving in our community. I want all of our children to grow up with opportunities and with hope. We have prioritized our schools with referendums. We care about keeping our streets safe with committed law enforcement who not only work in our area but live here. And we also enjoy our social bond and our social connections. I have seen us come together during times when families are suffering through unexpected losses or injuries. I have seen children celebrated with their achievements and challenged to expand their opportunities. But we also see many families with parents working 2 to 3 jobs and still can't make ends meet. Their quality of life is suffering because our minimum wage hasn't kept up with real family living wage. We have to stop attacking unions and support the right of workers. It is because of the rise of unions that America had one of the strongest middle class levels in the world. Our middle class issues are compounded with low wages, unsteady hours, less worker rights, and right now we worry about adequate health care coverage. As I speak with people in our area, I continue to hear their concern over higher deductibles and co-pays and their fear of paying their bills. Inadequate health care coverage also leads to families who are on long waiting lists and suffering together as they wait for drug addiction recovery programs or appropriate mental health coverage. I understand that obstacles create hard times. The paths in our lives aren't always easy. but I believe in a system that is fair and empowering. I want to continue to create opportunities for our district, the 39th, to connect people to important resources and to strengthen our families. My parents were both born in Puerto Rico and moved to Brooklyn, New York, where I was born. My mother worked hard to help me become the first person to graduate from college. I'm a rookie.
You're doing fine.
I am so proud. I am so proud that my mother also attended college when I was still in school, while she sacrificed for me all those years. My father is a Vietnam vet with 2 Purple Hearts and now suffers from PTSD and depends on the VA and his wife every day. He is my own personal hero who sacrificed not just for me, but for our whole country. He is the reason I gained certification to teach yoga for PTSD. My stepfather, he fought his way out of a difficult urban setting in Chicago and joined the Air Force. He ended up making the most out of his situation and even became a lawyer. My family is a testament to resources creating empowerment. As an active volunteer in our area, I think some of my proudest moments have always been working with children and their families. This is probably why I spend much of my time either directing children's theater, teaching yoga to kids, approving special grants for children on behalf of the Beaver Dam Hospital Foundation, or helping my husband raise our 3 daughters. Children deserve to feel safe, know their value, and have their hard work reward them with opportunities. In all of my volunteer activities, whether I'm at a Rotary Club or working to establish the Latino network of Beaver Dam or sitting with friends at a voting registration training, political party representation doesn't matter as long as we're getting the job done. It's no secret that we are a historically Republican district. And I'm okay with that because this race isn't about a party for me. Yes, I am proud and have always been a proud Democrat. But I don't want to just stand up and speak out. I also want to sit down and listen. Our community has many voices, and the diversity of these voices can bring quality solutions. I invite open conversations to get to real solutions. We all benefit if we remember the many times we come together as a community when a family needs us. We don't ask what political party they represent. We just ask what do they need. I will take that same value from our community and respond to needs just like I have responded before, with an eagerness to learn and an ambition to solve. I do believe it is time for change, and I wouldn't be here today if I didn't believe that change is critical. Our district has trusted the Republican Party. We have allowed them to represent our state assembly and our state senate for several years. As much as this is not about a political party to me, the current administration is failing us as they advance an agenda that protects corporations, sacrifices the most vulnerable people and aspects in our community, our workers, our children, and our environment. This culture of treating corporations better than our own children must end. And it can end with your voices, your donations, and with your vote. So, 144 days left until election. I will do everything I can to stand up and share your voices, to sit down and listen, and then to win. And Facebook friends, if you're watching this video live, or if you're in another district or another state, we still need your help. We cannot take this fight alone, and we must not be left behind. If we can move our whole state to progress, we move our whole country. As I heard at our Wisconsin convention a couple of weeks ago, it isn't the people in this room that are going to decide our election on November 6th. I'm counting on you to be willing to talk to your friends, your family, your coworkers. They must hear how important public education, the environment, healthcare, family living wages are to the sustainability of our community. I hope I can count on you for the next 144 days. I can't do this alone. Now, I found a strong team to stand with me. I identified my priorities, and I will continue to address many more. I have my family, our Dodge County Democrats behind me, my Emerge sisters with me. I stand with the resources of Emerge and the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. And from the energy in this room, I know we are ready. We must take a unified stand even with our many diverse voices. We must make this our time. Vote for me on November 6th, and let's work together to reinstate Wisconsin as one of the best states in our country again. Thank you.